Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and happy Mindset Monday. We are back for another episode of how do we evolve? How do we grow our business? How do we continue to also feel really good about the work that we're doing? So, I'm excited that you're here this morning. I see everybody filing in. It fills my heart. Thank you so much. Sam, good to see you. Ginger, Robert, Kriza Salon, good to see you. Brenna, Paige, good to see you guys. All right. Well, as you're filing in, today I want to talk about, hey, Derek, good to see you. I want to talk about is it time for a tune-up in your business? And today I want to talk about auditing your business. And sometimes when you use the word audit, it sounds scary because we think of like an IRS audit, right? But there are other kinds of audits that we can do in order to elevate our business. And there is this notion that we should always be auditing our business because once we work up to owning our own business and working in it and we have a vision, do things fall short sometimes? Yes. Are we short-sighted? Do we get caught up in the weeds? Are we caught up fighting fires every day? Yeah. And so we forget sometimes that there is a bigger purpose and a bigger mission happening and that we could be taking advantage of. So today I want to talk about auditing your business to help increase efficiencies, financial literacy, operations. And there's two ways that you can go about auditing your business that I want to talk about today. One of them is hiring a coach, right? And they could go through and help you to audit your business. That's something that I do. I do with all my clients. I mean, basically, that's the job or should be the job of a coach is to go in and not tell you the way I think things should be done, but look at what's happening. Where are you in your business? Do you want to see something different happening? And how do we get from point A to point B? To me, that's really the job. That's how I see my job as a coach or a mentor. But you could also audit your own business. So if you are not in the space to hire a coach or a mentor and you are wanting to still audit your business, there's a way to do that. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So I'm here if you need me. I'll talk to you a little bit as I go through. There's 4 sections that I want to go through today about how you can do kind of like a oversight audit of your business. And then I'll also share with you some of the things I do with my clients when I am working in a coaching capacity with my owners. So you guys ready for this? How's everybody doing this morning? Let me just get a pulse on everybody. Are we ready for a tune-up? Who's ready for a tune-up in their business? Throw me some comments. Or is everything just going perfectly fine? Because if it is, can you be here doing the live and come in and help me in my business? So we always have to be auditing what we're doing. So you guys ready for that? All right. There's 4 areas that I want to talk about today. I want to talk about auditing financial fitness. All right. Everybody's like, yes, let's tune up. All right. Financial fitness. We're going to talk about operational efficiencies, team spirit and cultural readiness, and of course, a leadership check-in, because none of these things would be possible if we were not practicing and exercising our leadership muscles. So I want to talk about first and foremost is financial fitness. And that's the foundation of decision making. And I know that we're emotional beings. Yes, I get that. I am too. But when we're looking at making decisions in our business, the best way to start is not how I feel about something, but are we able or capable of making this decision if it's going to have an impact financially or culturally in our business? And I'm going to just repeat what I've been saying for 100 years. And so forgive me if you want to just roll your eyes at it, but numbers tell a story. And when I first start working with clients, I have one of the very first requests before I even meet with them. and those of you that work with me that are on this can attest to this, in my official capacity as a coach, is I have them send their financials. And why do I do that? I have them send their financials because numbers tell a story. And they tell a story about the decisions that we're making around our operations, and how we're running our business. And we could literally go through and do a side by side of year over year or month over month and start looking at every single line item. And when I'm working with my clients and we go through each line item, it's super enlightening and educational around how people are making decisions and what's going on in the business. And I think that whether you're a business owner or a person walking around in the world and you're not a business owner, but you have your own business, which is going to work and working every day, that's a function of your own business. You could do this in your own life. This isn't just about business and a P&L. You could go through your own expenses every day and audit them and look at them and say, wow, these numbers are telling a story about how I'm thinking about my world and how I'm spending my money and what's important to me and how I'm making decisions. So it's no different in your personal life than it is in your business life. The only big difference really is that when you're making emotional decisions around your business instead of fact-based decisions, and you have staff, that the decisions that you're making impact a lot of people and a lot of people's livelihood. And I think we need to really take that to heart and be responsible when we are doing, when we're in the becoming mode of leadership. So section 1 is financial fitness. So I mean, step 1 to me as a business leader and owner is to know every single line item on your profit and loss, no matter what. Know every line item, what goes into that line item, and how do I make decisions about what is actually in that line item. So if your expenses are out of whack, then we may want to talk about how am I making decisions around my budgeting, right? So financially, it's imperative that as leaders, we know how our financials are reading and what the results of those financials are telling us. If you are not able to read your financials, then I'm going to say seek out help from a coach, seek out help from your bookkeeper, and take the time to go through every single line item on there and say, what's in here? Is it in alignment with where I should be for profitability and sustainability for my business? Or are there some different decisions that I need to be making in order to carve out more profit? Or do I have extra money in this area that I can spend for my advertising to get more clients in the door, right? So your finances it's the very first thing that you have to know how to do, know how to read in order for you to be a great decision maker. Okay, so finances, number 1, section 1, when you're auditing your business, because I got to tell you, I have a new client that I just onboarded this past week. Super successful business owner, got in touch with me because he wanted to level up, not because it was a crisis, which look, when there's a crisis, I'm all about troubleshooting, but when people want to level up, I love that too. Call me. Let's take a look and let's audit. So here's a super successful, profitable business owner that wanted to level up their business. And so the first thing that he did is send me his financials, and what a great business he has. And the financials were super telling around areas that we could dive into. And sometimes when we're looking at our own business, we're doing the best we can, and we don't have an outside person eyes on to be able to say, hey, what about this? And what are you doing in this area that's giving you this result? And those are the questions I want you to be able to ask yourself when you're doing an audit on your own business. And look, I mean, I am a proponent for financially auditing your business every single month. So every month that you get your financials should be an audit and should be like a treasure hunt. When I say treasure hunt, we're always looking for treasures when we're on a treasure hunt. Well, a treasure hunt in your financials is, where is the money? because you know and I know in this industry, it's not a huge profit margin of an industry. So we have to go on treasure hunts every month and make sure that our decision making is lined up and buttoned up so that we can carve out that profit for sustainability. And if you guys saw my post this past week on Keri Davis Consulting Instagram, profit is not a dirty word. And I will scream that from the rooftops. A business has to be profitable in order to stay alive and stay in business. Period. Just like you in your personal life. When you have your paycheck come in and you're paying your bills, what happens to you if there's no money left over? You're in debt. You have to borrow money for whatever it is that you need to live on. The business is no different. Profit is not a dirty word. Profit is an essential word and an essential practice to make sure that we are carving those dollars out on the bottom line to be able to put back into our business for operations. So look, if you need help, get a bookkeeper, call your accountant, call a mentor or coach that can walk you through exactly what's going on with your finances. Step one for your audit. All right. So today, if you're just tuning in, it's time for a business tune-up. And I'm talking about business auditing. So financial auditing, I do once a month. And I can back that down to weekly technically, because we use budget worksheets to even do our ordering, to schedule our hourly people. So we are working on a budget weekly to make sure when I get my financials that I'm not shocked and surprised, because once that month is over, you can never go back and say, I want to undo that expense. Money spent, people, right? That money's gone. So I want you to financially audit your business every single month. And I want you to know exactly how much you should be spending on specific areas like ordering, like scheduling, all those things. Anything that you're about to spend money on, you should know how much you should be spending in order to put yourself in a positive position for the upcoming month. Okay, I could spend 2 days on financial practices, but I will move on to section 2 of auditing your business is operational efficiencies. So this is really like the heart of your business, right? This is where you want to make sure that everything's running smoothly. And this is from how we answer the phone, how we cross promote, how we greet people, how we schedule appointments. And when we look at like scheduling appointments as an example, and we talk about operational efficiencies, let's just say, and the first thing that comes to my mind, I'm just going to give you some examples, right? The first thing that comes to my mind would be, let's say that I have a hair cutter that's on the 45 minutes. They book every 45 minutes. And I look at the schedule and I see that half of the day, there's 15-minute gaps in the day because maybe they were booked on the hour instead of on the 15 minutes. So there's 15-minute gaps. That's not efficiency. And maybe if I moved 3 of those clients up, we could get another client in for that day. So efficiency is around maximizing profitability, maximizing your staff's income, maximizing the company income, eliminating areas that are not creating efficiency for you. So that's just like one thing that comes to mind. Optimizing your product inventory. This is another big thing that in our company, we've been doing this for years. We order on a budget. So we order our back bar on a budget. We order our retail on a budget. It's not just like, oh, what are we out of? And let's just start ordering from tip to toe. No, we have a budget. And when you have a budget that you are ordering off of, you are more selective around what it is that you can order. So let's talk about ordering our retail. A great idea to create efficiencies in ordering retail. The one thing we don't want to see with our retail is we don't want to see products that aren't moving sitting on the shelf. So that's wasting your cash flow because you're ordering more products that are just going to sit there and not move. And it's wasting your shelf space for things that could be moving. So we always want to do an audit. This is like a little micro audit on your highest movers, your biggest, the activity that's moving, high activity products that are moving, those are the ones that you want to have on the shelf. You don't want to run out of those because then there's product that somebody can't purchase. So make sure that you're putting your money where it matters so that you can create efficiencies in your business. Okay, let me see if there's anything. Yep, I think I said it all in this area. Streamlining your booking system and optimizing your product inventory. Also reviewing your marketing and advertising for efficiencies, I put down to make sure that you're tracking ROI, your return on your investment. So make sure that if you're going to be spending money somewhere, I want you to be able to look at, am I doing this to get a return? Am I doing this because I want an immediate return on my investment? Or am I doing this to get our name out there? And this is something we're going to do because we are interested in constantly putting our name out and I'm not looking for a specific return on my investment. So those are the kind of things you have to determine for yourself and for your business and be able to track those things, because a year from now, when you want to do the same promo and you're investing in that promo, you might look back and be like, that didn't bring anything back to me. So maybe I need a new idea and I need to pivot. Those are the kind of audits, even in your marketing, that I think are really good ideas, right? Okay. The third section, so we talked about finance, operational efficiencies, and then the third section for an audit is team spirit and cultural readiness. What does that mean? I'm going to just boil this down to, I started off today by saying numbers tell a story. And I'm going to boil this number down to staff retention. So when I tell you that I could look at any number in your business and it will tell a story about your operations and decision making, I'm not joking, right? You could do the same thing. So if you looked at your staff retention year over year and you said, okay, we're in June, let me go back and see how many people were with me in June of 2023. And are those same people, not new people that came July, August, September, just of the people that were in June, are those specific people still with me here in this June of 2024? And do I have at least 75% of those people? If you're at the 50% mark, if you're at the 70% mark, okay, but when you start dropping down into the 60s and 50s, then that's just going to tell us a story. I don't want you to judge yourself around it. It just is like, wow, if I am not retaining my staff year over year and I don't have high team spirit, high morale, cultural readiness, if I don't have that, how do I know if I have that? By looking at my retention to see if I'm retaining my team, to look to see if I feel like the energy feels really good in the company, right? Are we bringing fun to the business? Are we working together as a team? These are the benchmarks that people want in a business when they come to work for you. That's what they want. They want to feel good. They want to feel nurtured. They want to feel heard. They want to feel seen. They want to feel loved, right? They want to feel your presence of mind. And how do we know if we're doing that? Well, let's look at our retention, our team, our staff retention. And if it's lower, then I think it's something to take a look at, right? It's something, if you guys have any questions, I see some of you guys popping some questions in. Good to see you, Crystal, Van, Almeida, good to see you guys. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to pop them into the comments. So yeah, if you want to do an audit on how you're doing with your culture and your team morale, do your retention numbers to see if you're trending 70% or over for retention year over year. You can take those numbers quarterly. You can look at the whole year, year over year. You can look at month over month, but always take the same month last year that you're in now. Only those people still with you this month? And you'll find out what percentage of those people that were with you last year right now are still with you this year in this month. So if that number is low, then there are things you can do about that. There are things that you can do, like connecting with team meetings more often that are motivational, not meetings, not team beatings. They're team meetings where you're recognizing people, you're launching fun incentives for people, you're creating camaraderie and team spirit. Sometimes we'll have what we call a salon celebration that has nothing to do really with business and everything to do with connection and team and personal and like getting real with each other. And those to me are the most, I don't know, powerful ones because people then feel a sense of belonging, like they know each other and we're more invested in each other. So, team meetings are a great way. We do once or twice a year, we do surveys, team surveys to find out how we're doing with our education, how we're doing with our leadership, how we're doing with our operations, so we can get ideas from our team. I mean, we try to create an open environment, so we're getting ideas from our team all the time. But this gives us a consensus of what everybody is feeling with respect to how we're doing in these specific areas. And to me, the leadership one is the most critical because I want to see how we are serving them. Because, you know, my team are my clients too. They're my family, but they're my clients. And I want to see how are we serving our team. And so those surveys, which are anonymous, help us to look at how we're doing from a leadership perspective. So, and I'm going to get to leadership, but this was about team spirit and cultural readiness. Okay, so that was number 3. And so, I mean, my fourth one is leadership, is a leadership check-in. And no audit is complete without the leader, right? You have to be the one willing to take a hard look at your business, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and not judge yourself over it. Your past is your past, but how we move forward is the thing that matters. So I could ruminate on all the things I fricked up on in the past, and I got to tell you, there's been many. I've been in business this July. I'm going on 32 years as an owner, multiple businesses. And have there been a lot of screw ups? Hell yeah, there has been. And so my goal though has always been, what's my piece in that as a leader, and how could I make it different for people and myself, that experience? How can I make it different moving forward? And so, yeah, we're all going to F up. We're all going to make mistakes. The mistakes could be epic. They could be minor. I remember talking to one of my new clients this past week. And when I first am meeting with my clients, I have like a gazillion questions, because in order for me to be able to help you, I have to be like Curious George and find out what's happening first so that we can then start to, you know, make some lists around what needs to happen coming up. And I remember that there was in one of his processes, he had reduced fees somewhere else, but fees went up in another place. And so when I started talking about that with him, I said, have we looked at the optics by moving these certain things around? And he said, well, what do you mean by optics? And I said, I know that your intention around what you did, like I know that I could feel your intention was the best possible way for your team, for the clients, for the company. But the optics might not look that way. So how people view the decision that you made also has to be taken into consideration when we're changing things, when we're changing our practices, and when we are leadership facing. We have 2 audiences that we have to be able to create a narrative for. One is our team and the other is our clients. And so when you are looking to make a big change in your business, this is a leadership little nugget for you. You may want to make a change so bad in your business, and this change would be like epically positive. But if it doesn't come off positively, you're screwed. So you could have the best intentions, which I've had before in decision making, and I make the decision, we pull the trigger, and I swear to God, it had the complete opposite effect. And I'm going to share one quick story with you around that comes up for me around this decision that I made years ago that was like, I don't even know if I'll ever A, live it down, or B, like get out of the cringe that I have of making this decision. So we decided with all of our expenses that we were going to, instead of taking tips on the credit card, we were going to install an ATM machine, which has never been our practice. We've been in business 32 years. I think we did it on year 20. So this was 12 years ago. And I still relive it like it was yesterday. So I thought we're going to put in, instead of raising the prices to the clients because of the credit card fees, which was an area I thought we could control a little bit better, I thought we'll put an ATM machine in there and the clients can get cash, tip their hairdressers or their technicians with cash, and then the technicians have a tracking system to then make sure that they are keeping track of their tips so that they can, turn that in as income, right? So we had a whole system and we launched this. We got the ATM machines in the salon. And those ATM machines, you can make money on ATM machines technically if you're holding that in your company to offset that cost. But we said, no, we're not going to, we don't want to make any money. We'll charge like, I don't know, it was 50 cents or 75 cents a transaction just to like pay for the ATM machine coming in. And then in our marketing, we did this marketing called Cash is King. And instead of raising our prices, blah, 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 we let the client know what we were doing. I mean, it was the biggest backfire of all times. So what was my intention? The client wanted to put it on their card. They wanted to put a tip on their card, period. They didn't want to turn around and walk 5 steps and get money out of an ATM machine to bring it back and give their stylist cash. Maybe they wanted it as an option, but they didn't want it as the only option. The amount of kickback I got on that, we sent out an e-blast. I mean, I was so excited about it. Oh my God, I have never gotten more like hate mail over this campaign. So my intention was, again, instead of raising prices, it was to try to decrease my prices because the amount of credit card fees that we were paying on tips, I mean, we do each location well over $1 million a year. One of my locations is over $2 million a year. So the tips on that revenue is a lot. So instead of raising the prices, let's keep the prices down. No, I think it was a month. I took the ATMs out. Guess what? You can put your tips on the credit card. I raised the prices across the board by like, I don't know, $5 or $10. Nobody said a word. So when I started this story because I want to talk about optics. And sometimes we make a decision and we're not considering what the optics are for our 2 sets of guests, the clients and our staff. So that was another lesson for me. After 20 years of leadership, 20 years of speaking, 20 years of coaching, I thought, oh my God, a humbling moment for sure. Nothing we do is perfect. But what it did teach me is to get in front of when we're going to launch something that's a different practice, we need to become the devil's advocate of what we're launching to try to poke a million holes in it to see, is it going to sink or swim? So we have to put ourselves in the shoes of all the front-facing people that are going to be on the other side of this practice to see what are the optics going to be. And I'll tell you, the optics of Cash is King, that was not king. That was like Joker. And so, again, always thinking of the narrative that people are going to walk away with, whether it's marketing, whether you are launching a new practice in your business. We always have to be making sure that we are looking at who's our audience and what could the interpretation be, even though that's not my intention. What could the interpretation be? And we know, being all over social media, that people's interpretation of things are all so different of the same story because of the lens that people look through. So we have to, as leaders, a skill set as a leader is to be able to put on a bunch of different colored glasses, look through all those lenses, and be able to see what could possibly be the demise of me launching this, and how can I smooth it out and reframe it if I need to in order for it to, when we launch it, become a positive change where people could see what's in it for them. So, oh my gosh, I could go on, but it kind of looks like our 30 minutes might be up. And let's see, my wrap up today is, if you guys came in mid-flight, we talked about doing an audit on your business frequently, not a one time. And in these audits, we talked about 4 sections. Financial fitness, knowing how to read your financials from A to Z, you guys. I cannot even state that enough. I mean, if you don't know how to do that, please call. Please get some help, because it is going to open up a world for you that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I've been operating without knowing these things. 2, operational efficiencies. So making sure that the practices, your day-to-day stuff, even how you get the salon clean, that's operations. People coming in on time, that's operations, right? How people hear you on the phone, all those things are operations. So operational efficiencies. 3, we talked about team spirit and cultural readiness. And 4, we talked about leadership checkup. So my actionable steps for you, my takeaway steps would be for you, is to find one key area of the things that I talked about that you thought, I just feel like there could be a lot of holes here. Take that and just start unpeeling that onion and see, where do you need help? Because if you want your business to grow, and I will tell you this after 32 years of owning, operating, selling, opening, closing multiple multi-million dollar businesses, if you're not growing, you're dying. If you are not constantly staying in the rhythm of growth, agility, and flexibility, your business will suffer. So we are not where we are today because I decided to open my business and sit on the couch and not do anything different. To this day, as I talk to you, my business is a work in progress. To this day, the meetings are about, where are their holes? Yes, after 32 years. That's the commitment I'm looking for. So find an area that you can start peeling back the onion, and don't get overwhelmed. As long as you're working on 1 or 2 things at a time that's moving the needle and moving and progressing you, you are on the right track. All right. Look, if you're here, you know how to get a hold of me if you need my help. I hope this helped you to do some self-auditing. If you want to do a self-audit, I wish you guys the best, the most success, whatever success looks like for you. I wish that for you. So I hope that you have an amazing week. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here for you. And I know you got this. 1 step at a time, people. That's all we have. We have this moment, and 1 step at a time. So I hope that you have an amazing week. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Mwah! Next week it is. Bye.